Of course, there's no one here yet. Lies. Jad. Hi. Hello, Quirked. Well, yeah, C&E, of course. It'd be weird if you weren't here. I would have questions. But good morning. Good morning, C&E, Quirk, and Jadacero only. Oh, also, good mid-afternoon, Irian. This is good. I have one leftover question. Just the one, so I can take my sweet time with this one. Super Butzer asks, hello. Can Alindra beat Krull? Yes. Any champion can beat any champion. Technically speaking. It's all a numbers game, right? So, what if you have an Alindra with, like, millions of item levels, all epic, golden legendaries, and then you have a fresh Krull who's completely gearless. You don't even have feat slots unlocked yet. I'd imagine that probably Alindra beats Krull in that situation. So to answer your question, can Alindra beat Krull? Yeah, any champion can beat any champion. Does Alindra beat Krull often? No. But that's not what you asked. What you asked is can. Hello, Onyx Squared. Hello, Lyra. Hi, honey. Thank you. I am extremely pleased with our new starting screen. Maddie over here, among our artists, our graphic designers, Maddie put together my new overlays. They're spicy. They're good. I love them. So I'm very excited. We're going through all of that with you all. So it looks like my new chat. Looks like my new chat box I'm using to keep track of things is working, so I can close the old one. This is good. So we'll be getting ourselves started in just a few minutes here. Hey, Taranger. What's up? Martin says I sound good. Excellent. That's the whole reason I do this pre-stream. Well, it was originally the reason I started doing this pre-stream, was to do audio check. But it's definitely evolved since then. Now it's kind of become just part of the ritual. Because now it's mainly to say hello to everybody. Hello, Elduin. Hello, Jezebel. Hello, Yum Yum. It's a fun name. Co's not in yet because you can't see my face yet. But we're about to change that because my timer just ran out. So let's do the thing. Greetings, champions! And welcome to a new, very polished, little bit of a glow-up Mars Guiding Hand. I am Mars, and this is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a free-to-play, officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons formation strategy management game from Codename Entertainment. On this show, we take a look at the latest content, discuss strategies, and answer any questions that you may have about the game. So get cozy, get yourself a cup of tea. It's very early morning here, so tea, I need it. Put it in my veins. And join me for a while as we take a deeper look at all things Idle Champions. Today is, this feels weird to say, Monday morning. This is December 6th, Monday. And on this 89th episode of Mars Guiding Hand, we're going to be talking about we'll be going over Zeraphon, because I didn't feel like I had enough time. I spent like 20 minutes on Zeraphon, because that's all the time I had left at the end of the last episode. So I'll be going over Zeraphon, and then basically whatever else we want to do, because this is now a daily show. As of today, it was announced last week, but in case you missed the memo, Mars Guiding Hand is every day. Every weekday, Monday through Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We have a morning show at this time. 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, or whatever time it is for you. And then also my normal Wednesday afternoon spot on Wednesday afternoons. So that's 6 doses of Mars per week. That also means 6 chest codes per week. So enjoy that. No, not weekends. I need my weekends. All right, and of course we'll be answering any questions that you have about the game. With me is the other M, Martin. My friend Martin. Martin's going to be grabbing your questions from chat and throwing it into the question doc for me so that I can get to it when I can get to it. And, yeah, hello. It's good to see you all. Oh, Chris and Dylan! Oh my goodness, it's 7 a.m., y'all! What are you doing? Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. It's very nice since, this is the first of the morning routines, and I find myself with more energy than I was expecting. Thanks, anxiety! Today's tea, I just saw someone ask in chat, and it's always the first question that I answer, just to get it out of the way. Today's tea is double cream Earl Grey from Friday Afternoon Teas, because it's raining. It's a lovely rainy morning. Yeah, so far so good. Martin says my audio's good. Overlay seems to be working. The captions are doing their best. I have already noticed in my testing that captions are really going to have a rough time of it when I start singing, because occasionally I will just break into random song because I'm always in a good mood when I do this show, and captions struggle with that. But other than that, they seem to be pretty good. Alright, now if I'm going to be going over Zeraphon, I need a place to go to do it. So, hey chat, any requests for an adventure to play? I don't have a trial open right now. Oh, I could start my time gate. I haven't actually started my time gate yet. Okay, well, in that case, chat, Martin, can we get a poll up? This would be fun. Oh, man, we can actually start doing this. I can open up my time gates on Mondays. On Monday mornings, and I could have chat decide who my time gate is. Martin, can we get a poll going, please, for Wolfgar, Neris, or Kreidel for my time gate choice? I'll let chat decide, because I love interaction with the chat, bringing you all into the show. Timegate should be Tuesday for Timegate Tuesday. I can't do that because by then they'll be closed. The Timegate weekend will be over and I can't start it. That would be funny though. Martin says I've got a slight audio desync. Is anybody else picking up on that? Because my stream settings should be exactly the same as I had from this last, what was it, Thursday evening was the last time we had a Guiding Hand. That was 88. This is 89. Yeah. Good morning, Bunny Beast. Hello, hello. Voice seems to match my lips. Audio sync seems fine on this end. Nice. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Not seeing desync. Seems fine. Thank you. Puts my mind at ease. Yeah, so Vallejo, new overlays, new settings, like Scorched Earth policy on my overlays. Start over from scratch. Clean slate. It just feels good. You know, spring cleaning in December, I guess, digitally. Anyway, but in the process of doing that, I also had to rebalance my audio levels. And I've got it sounding good to me, like in my testing. It's at 30% of what the full volume should be. Like, I'm listening to 100%, but you are hearing 30% of the in-game volume. Alright, how's our poll looking, Martin? So I can get started on my time gate here. I can turn down the music a little bit more. This is one of those things. Oh, it's still, the vote's still going. Okay, cool. Thanks. This is one of those things that's just gonna have to, like, evolve over the course of time, you know? Like, as we continue to work with the show. Because it's a new age. It's a new age for Mars Guiding Hand. Our episode count is gonna skyrocket from here on out. Originally, episode 100 was gonna land sometime in March. Now it's gonna be this month. So I have some preparation to do. Very quickly. Thank you, Trent Nader. Thank you. I'll get out of this screen so we can at least... let's just go into... No, give me something... Ooh, spooky. Yeah, Mist of Ravenloft. That's good. I'll just bring up the Mist of Ravenloft and have this running while the poll's being voted on. And this will give me a chance to... Oh, you know what? I need to talk about Zeraphon in here. Because when I start a new time gate, I'm going to be at 0 favor. And it's going to take me at least a few minutes to unlock Zeraphon and level him up. So, it's actually better if I jump into Zeraphon, just like I do with my event champions. I go into a Torm run because I have monstrously high Torm favor, 9.88E68. Yeah. Oh, yeah, doorbell. I caught that myself as I was saying it. I stumbled a little because I caught it live. Yeah, don't worry. I was modding for Gar, and I know Gar was struggling with it. I'm going to struggle with it too. I'm going to be honest about that, but I'm going to try my best. Call me out on it when it happens. You know, you should. Names and pronouns are important. Alright, let's go ahead and get Zeraphon out here. Start by unlocking. Alright, I'm just going to choose specs so that we can talk about all of Zeraphon's abilities all at once. And then I'll go back. There we go. Then I'll go back and actually talk about the specializations. Bye, Dritzt. Oh, Hero of the Veil. One of my favorite bosses in the game, just because they keep showing up like a running gag. Alright. Looks like Neris won the time gate. Thank you, chat. I will start my Neris time gate right after this. Zeraphon. This is the latest champion to have joined our roster for a couple of days. Zeraphon came out last Wednesday, and Zeraphon is a non-binary, doppelganger, rogue, neutral alignment, support character, no affiliation, in slot 7, so swaps with Minsk and Catti and Lucius and Jim and Freely and all that. Right out of these messages from our generous sponsor, Zeraphon. Yeah. So, Zeraphon is not an event champion. If you're newer to the game, and you don't know the drill, you don't know what's up with this, like, once a year? Sometimes twice? I mean, we've had very few what are called evergreen champions, Zeraphon being one of them, the latest. There's Dritzt in Grand Tour of the Sword Coast. There's Azaka and Dragonbait in Tomb Annihilation. There's Olkoria in Waterdeep Dragon Heist. We also have Rhea in Baldur's Gate Ascended to Avernus. Zeraphon is the evergreen champion for Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden for that campaign. The cold place, and they say it gets colder. If you're bundled up now, wait till you get older. Zeraphon is quite old, for that matter. If you actually look into their backstory, they are like basically at least 1,500 years old, because they were frozen in stasis for a while. But anyway, Zeraphon went to sleep as a prisoner in a Netherese floating city, and awoke centuries later to the champions asking them questions about a glacier. To say it's been a rough day would be an understatement. In an attempt to avoid the icy tomb of Ythryn, Zeraphon joins with the champions and is willing to see where this decision takes them. After all, they've played many roles in their life, but never the hero. It's never too late to start. Anyone can be a hero, Zeraphon. Zero to hero. That's what I'm talking about. Love that. So I've got my Zeraphon up to mostly epic gear. Blues, epics, one shiny over the weekend. Got really lucky with this early shiny. But I'll be opening up more chests today to shiny hunt for Zeraphon the rest of the way. And epics, of course. The shinies are going to be a lot harder to find than the epics. There's no guarantee that I'll get the shinies. There is for the epics, so that's fine. But 9 strength, 18 dexterity, 13 constitution, 12 intelligence, 14 wisdom, 17 charisma. Now, the savvy among you would already understand that Zeraphon does not qualify for any patrons. Right out the gate. Right on pickup, Zeraphon qualifies for no patrons. Needs a little bit more strength to please Zerial. Needs a little bit more constitution to be worthy of Vajra. Needs a little bit more intelligence to be noticed by Strahd Senpai. But doesn't quite have it. Doesn't quite have the juice to get to those patrons. That being said, remember that feats exist. Remember that feats exist. Athlete, increase the strength score of Zeraphon by 1. Durable, increase the constitution score of Zeraphon by 1. Keen mind, increase the intelligence score of Zeraphon by 1. So because these 3 feats exist, although they're gold chest feats, you're going to have to hunt for them, get some more chests, open them up. Zeraphon does qualify for 3 of the 4 patrons. 75%, that's great. You just have to put in the work to actually get the feats for them. Alright? So, that out of the way, let's go back to things. Oh, there was a question I saw just a minute ago. I think Martin missed this one, but that's okay. No worries. I'm also watching chat. Hey, Super Steve, any advice for someone stuck 9 levels away from unlocking Zeraphon? Watch the VOD. Go watch the recording for the last episode of this show, episode 88, if you can find it. Oh, Martin, you did catch that one. I apologize, buddy. It's early morning. Thank you. But just because this is super relevant, I wanted to tackle this one. So, stuck 9 levels away from unlocking Zeraphon. Last episode, I did my Zeraphon unlock run. I used Delina DPS. Chat voted for what DPS character I should use. They chose Delina, and true to my word, I played Delina DPS. And it was difficult. But we got there. I even had to use Xander. We got there. But it was tough. I did have to do some debuff swapping. I had to bring in Warden and do some debuff swapping. I also had to stack up my Orkira. So go check out episode 88, watch the recording there, and you'll see that I work with some strategies. I get stuck on stage 680, and then I had to employ some deeper thought in order to get past that hurdle. But it took us into the win after that. Yeah, that's the run where Xander got me to victory. It was hilarious. And Doorbell streams, yes, Delina won. Yeah, Delina DPS with Xander support beat the Tarrasque. Delina beat the Tarrasque. Amazing, right? I love it. The redemption arc. Incredible. Right. More details about Zeraphon. Zeraphon's got a stab attack. Just a little boop. Just a little poke. That's it. It's just a random enemy, single target, melee. This is nothing special. Let's just move on. There's nothing special about this. The ultimate, however, is everything special about this. For what Zeraphon lacks in a tasty base attack, absolutely makes up for in their ultimate attack. Zeraphon's entire kit, and I'm not exaggerating, Zeraphon's entire kit revolves around their ultimate attack. Perfect Imitation. Zeraphon imitates an enemy and buffs all champions for 60 seconds. It's really cool. They can basically turn into any non-boss enemy that you've defeated at any point during your current adventure. So it's pretty fun when they turn into something wild, like a mimic, or a giant, or a dragon. Because dragons are normal enemies in some adventures. Alright, let's take a look at abilities. Yeah, Chris is excited that Delano DPS beat the Trask. Yeah, I wanted to specifically play like an intentionally suboptimal formation. Yes, I have very strong gear. Yes, I have a very good Modron core. Yes, I have most of the feats in the game, like 500 feats, or not feats, achievements. I also have most of the feats in the game. Very close, like probably 90-something% of those. And I've got all the patron perks. So, how can I make things a little bit more realistic? Play a suboptimal DPS on purpose. So, Delana. I played Delana DPS, I had chat vote on it, and we did it, and it was honestly pretty fun. It was a challenge, because I had to use champions that, I don't usually use. Plus, we had the unique class limitation for that variant, Lesson in Classes. So, yeah, it ended up being a very interesting challenge. Might be one of my favorite adventures so far, honestly, just because of how cool that challenge was. Alright, so Zeraphon starts by unlocking Perfect Imitation, their ultimate attack, because it's that important. Over the course of Zeraphon's leveling up, you're going to be probably annoyed by the fact that Zeraphon has 6 specialization choices to make. High strength versus low strength, high dexterity versus low dexterity, high constitution versus low constitution, etc. All 6 ability scores are represented in these specialization choices. If you choose high strength, or high whatever ability score, then it's going to matter for however many champions in your formation have a strength score of 13 or higher. If you choose low strength or low whatever, then it's going to be strength score or whatever of 12 or lower. Okay, so it's like 13 and up or under 13. 13 and up or under 13. Pretty easy to remember. Champions in your formation that do qualify for whichever option you've chosen. For example, high strength is going to look at how many champions in my formation currently have a strength score of 13 or higher. If I went with low strength, then it would instead count how many of them have a strength score of 12 or lower. Whichever ones do qualify for what it's looking for, it's going to decrease the cooldown of Zeraphon's ultimate attack, Perfect Imitation. Which is good, we want that, because we want to be using this a lot, and I'll get to why later. Champions that don't qualify for this will instead increase the buff of Adaptable, which reads, increase the damage of all champions by 100%, further increase by 25% for each stack of Adaptable Zeraphon has. Each champion provides adaptable stacks based on the number of specializations that they do not qualify for. Okay? So we have 2 things being counted here. How many champions qualify for the spec choice of Zeraphon, and how many champions don't qualify for the spec choice of Zeraphon. One gives you a better cooldown for your ultimate for Zeraphon, and the other gives you better buffing ability for Zeraphon. So there's nothing going to waste. I mean, it's an either-or situation. You can't have someone who has both 13 strength or higher and 12 strength or lower. That's not a thing. It's going to be 13 and higher, or it's going to be 12 or lower. And so either of the situations, it's going to help you, just in different ways. With either better cooldown or better buffing, okay? But wait, there's more. Minion meets Master. When the only enemy alive during Perfect Imitation is a boss, increase the damage bonus of Perfect Imitation by 25% per second, stacking multiplicatively. Considering that Perfect Imitation lasts for 60 seconds, this is a multiplicative by 25% per second ability. That's going to be a lot. Repeated Imitation, increase the damage bonus of perfect imitation by 5% each time it is used in an adventure, stacking multiplicatively. Again, another multiplicative, up to 500 times. Stacks reset when the adventure is reset. An important thing to note about this is that Zeraphon's gear doesn't give ultimate cooldown reduction. One of the only champions in the entire game, out of all 91 currently, we're about to be 92 champions, out of all those, Zeraphon is one of the very few who doesn't have a cooldown reduction gear. Which, a lot of people complain about, like, ultimate cooldown reduction being wasted on certain champions. Whereas for Zeraphon, it's like, you'd be very much wanted. Give them all to this person. But, no. Instead, you just have to make do with the specialization choices. Just have as many people qualify for Zeraphon specializations, whichever route you're going, high or versus low, as you possibly can. Because in doing so, you'll be able to maximize Zeraphon's cooldown. It starts at 600 seconds. We have it down to 241.67 seconds right now. That's nice. That's more than a 50% discount on that. And on 10 times speed, that'll be much better to deal with. But it'll stack up to 500 times as a 5% multiplicative stack for your current adventure every time you use the ability. So when it comes to actually playing Zeraphon, you pretty much want to put a familiar on Zeraphon's ultimate and forget about it until you are actually at your wall. Like, once it's maxed out and then you're at your wall, then you want to use it when there's no enemies left, ideally, so that you can make the most use of Minion Meets Master. But also, if you just need to have it going so that you can kill the enemies, so that you can then fight the boss solo and have Minion Meets Master, great. But there's other ways that you can get around that. Like, you could use Jim to turn things into chickens and instantly get rid of them. You could use Vlania to just, whoop, just teleport them, plane shift them to a different reality so that only the boss is left, and then Minion Meets Master can apply easily. So, Zeraphon has some friends among the team that can help out with their kit. Zeraphon also has Weak Spot at level 150, increase the damage bonus of Perfect Imitation by 25% each time the enemy Zeraphon is imitating, or an enemy with the same name, is killed during that use of Perfect Imitation, stacking multiplicatively. Stacks reset when the ultimate ends. So, this is really cool, especially for, let's say, like a boss stage, where the boss summons 10 of this exact same enemy. Just as an example, the Mad Wizard is accompanied by 10 imps, and they're all named Imp. So, that's 10 stacks, baby! If Zeraphon lucks into actually being an imp for that fight. There's no guarantee that Zeraphon will turn into an enemy that's on that stage, just an enemy from that adventure. Make sense? Right. And is that it for Zeraphon's abilities? Yeah. So you want as much uptime for Zeraphon's ultimate as possible, which, there it is, Perfect Imitation. Yeah. You want this going. You want to use this as many times as you can. And if I go ahead and use this, whoop. What the heck? Oh, you're a fly now. Okay. So Zeraphon turned into a fly. It's just a little buzzy. A little buzzy fly. But it'll actually say over here on the repeated. There it is. Repeated imitation. Current stacks 1. Huzzah! It's something. Yeah. Moving on to Zeraphon's gear and feats. So we've got a cool dagger for all champion damage. We have, I guess, a belt for all champion damage. We've got lockpicking tools, because rogue. And that's going to be for Zeraphon's adaptable ability, which is the primary source of their buffing. And then Nether Oak Wand for Minion Meets Master. That's when you're soloing a boss. And then Tines of Lightning for repeated imitation. This is from spamming your ultimate. Music's a tad loud still. Okay, let me turn that down a little bit. I got you. Just a second. There we go. I like nice whole numbers. So it was at minus 10.5 decibels, now it's at minus 11 decibels. Try that. Is this better? This is Penelope's song, yes, that's right. Yeah, it's a fantastic tune. What an amazing surprise. That's actually sung by Hope. Incredible. Alright, back to the game. And then the last is Cloak of Another Age, which increases the effect of Zerathon's weak spot ability. And the weak spot is every time you kill an enemy that Zeraphon themselves is already imitating while the ultimate is still up. Which is pretty much just luck of the draw, right? So there is some RNG involved in playing Zeraphon. You gotta get lucky. But you can also kind of hedge your bets. You can control your fate a little bit if you can plan accordingly. Like, some adventures just favor enemies more so than others, right? Like, what? Running of the Swords has just, like, a ton of dinosaurs and a ton of, like, just Cholton zombies, right? So, that would be an easy one. You'd probably have, like, a higher chance of rolling for an enemy that you're going to be encountering frequently in that adventure with Zeraphon. Zeraphon's ultimate. And then once you've, like, built up the stacks of that for killing the same enemy, oh, and for that matter, maybe you can take notes. Like, if you are going through an adventure and you know you want to be using Zeraphon at the end, then you could take notes as you go. Like, okay, stage 1, zombie, skeleton, cow. Stage 2, nothing but cows. Stage 3, zombies and skeletons. Stage 4, imps, just imps. And then later in the adventure, you need to use Zeraphon's ultimate because you're like, oh, I'm at my wall, I need a little bit of a power boost. I know, Zeraphon. Let's use the permanent imitation ability, ultimate. Okay, great. And the ultimate says, Zeraphon, become a cow. So Zeraphon becomes a cow. And then you go, okay, I need to kill a lot of cows now. This is a weird example. Zeraphon needs to kill a lot of cows now so that you can build up the stacks of weak spot. So you go back to stage 2, which is nothing but cows, kill a bunch of cows, and then when you still have time left on your ultimate, don't wait for it to run out. When you still have time left on your ultimate, go back to your wall and see if the power boost you just got from killing a bunch of same enemy name kills with Zeraphon's perfect imitation ultimate ability up will give you enough power to get past that wall. Whew! This hurts my brain a little. But that's Zeraphon's gear, and let's just review feats real quick. So we've got Selflessness. This is, hi, I'm a support, and I need a default feat. Okay, here you go. Here's your Selflessness. Move on. Look in the Mirror is your default feat for Zeraphon's adaptable ability. Again, that's their primary buff. Who You Want to Be is a cool name, and this is also for Zeraphon's adaptable. This was a gem feat. It's for 40% adaptable versus 20% adaptable. Rising up the ranks is Minion Meets Master, 20%. This is another default. Perfect Double is repeated imitation, 40%. This is another gem feat. Viper in their midst is weak spot, 40%. This is another gem feat. And then we have 5 gold chest feats, which I'm also going to be hunting today. If I have to spend gems, I will, but Inspiring Leader, all champ damage 25%. This is the upgraded Selflessness that all supports get. Who to Trust is Minion Meets Master, 40%. And then there's the Patron qualifying feats. Athlete for Strength +1, Durable for Constitution +1, Keen Mind for Intelligence +1. You want all of these, because the more champions that you have available to pick from for any given challenge you might face, and very much so, especially including patron challenges, patron variants, the better. So you want all of them. I want all of them, and you should too. Yeah, get in here. If you're just coming in, hi! Welcome! It's Mars Guiding Hand, episode 89. Same show, spicy new overlay. It's looking good, and wait till you see the Wednesday afternoon, because it's a different overlay, baby. Mornings look like this, and afternoons look different, and you'll have to wait to see how on Wednesday afternoon. But same show. We go over the latest content. Right now, we are talking about Zerathon. I think I actually just finished talking about Zeraphon, and now I'm ready to jump into that time gate. Chat earlier voted, thank you Martin for arranging that, chat voted for my time gate choice. And chat chose Neris. Which, hey, thank you, by the way, because that's the one I wanted to do, because my Neris is missing an epic right there. So, thanks, appreciate it. That's what I would have chosen. Alright, since I'm in an adventure, I need to close this so that I can start the next one. And once I've got that adventure going, I'm going to start answering questions, because we've got 20 questions queued up already. Thank you, Martin, for grabbing those. If you're just coming in, Martin, the other M, my moderator, is grabbing questions for me, throwing them into the question document that I can see, so that I can answer those questions when the time is available to me to use to do so. Yeah. Alright, starting off strong. So, we do have that, but let's get even more money, please. Yes, good. Okay, fantastic. Alright. And I don't really care about seeing enemies. So let's just, Let's make a formation, but I'm not sure what I want to do yet. Maybe a formation that uses Zeraphon specifically? Maybe? Oh, I wonder how does captions deal with Zeraphon? Zerefon. Alright. That's not bad. It's phonetically right. I'll take it. Good job, captions. I'm so excited to have captions on the show now. By the way, the captions are twofold. They are baked in to the overlay, so that way, if anyone has to catch the video on demand, the recording, the VOD later, you can still have captions that way. But also, the exact same captions are being fed into the Twitch overlay. So if you prefer having control over how your captions appear, then you have that option, because the Twitch overlay lets you, like, make it look different and position it differently on the screen. So if you have preferences for your captions, you can do that. Oh, you know, I haven't actually put any feats in here. I'm going to start with just the adaptable. I'll probably do the repeated imitation one. I'm not a gambling man, so I don't love Zeraphon's weak spot ability, because that sounds like a lot of work, having to remember where enemies are so that you can hunt them specifically. So I think I'll focus on things that I can control more easily, like just spamming my ultimate over and over. Waiting for captions reactions to Mars reactions to new content. Oh, that'll be amusing, yeah. Alright, we've got a formation going, and it's fine. We'll turn this into a deep push. But for now, I'm just gonna let it take its sweet, lazy little time. While I look at questions from chat. So, let's go up here and see what we got so far. This charming Mothman, how are you so energetic? Did you wake up at sunup and take a cold shower to get this perky? No. I had multiple alarms, ignored the first one, finally got up a few minutes after my last alarm, and I slept okay. I think I got about 5 hours of sleep overall, so I'm honestly a little tired, but anxiety! Hey! What's up, anxiety? My worst friend. Anxious energy can go a long way for making you energetic when you need to be. But also, it's a mix, because do I have anxiety over doing the show in the new time slot? Yeah, of course. I'm not a morning person. But I am more than anxious. I am excited at the fact that I now get to do this multiple times a week. 6 times a week. 6 times! Love that. This is my full-time job, baby. Dream come true. I'm not kidding. So, that's why I'm energetic. It's a heady cocktail of emotions, really. Yeah. Dylan's just making sure the launch is good. Excellent. Yeah, I figured if there's any one day that my overlords would be here for the early morning show, it would be this one, the first one, just to make sure everything's working out well. I think it's good. I think we're doing fine. We haven't had any big slip-ups, no like technical emergencies. There's just just the music had to be turned down slightly, which is like the lowest possible problem on the poll. So, I think we're fine. Cruciferous Kale, good morning. Hi, good morning. I just unlocked Strahd, but I don't have any Strahd-eligible champs in Slot 3. Naeli, Slot 5 Calliope, or Slot 12 Archon. Who should I get so I can try tackling some Strahd challenges? Ooh, that's a great question. Let's take a look. Let's take a look, Cruciferous Kale. So who should you get in Slot 3, 5, and 12 for Strahd challenges? Alright. So my favorite Slot 3 for Strahd is Gromma. Now, you might think Gromma only has 12 intelligence, so you can't use her for Strahd. But Gromma does have a +1 intelligence feat, which would bring her up to 13 and make her qualify for Strahd. And where do you get that feat? Well, you get it from Strahd's own patron shop. So it's kind of like the game is telling you that Gromma is a good pick for Strahd. You just have to work up enough to get this feat first. Yeah. So Gromma's my favorite in Slot 3. I'd go ahead and unlock her so that you can use her when you can. But as an interim champion to use until you can do that, let's take a look around. You could do Brig. Brig also has a +1 intelligence for their 12 intelligence to qualify. Not Binwin. Artemis just automatically qualifies. Not Omen. Mehen qualifies, but Mehen is Mehen, and Mehen is Meh, unfortunately. And Spurt has maybe the lowest ability scores in the game. So, yeah, it pretty much just comes down to Mehen qualifies by default. Artemis qualifies by default. Artemis isn't support. Mehen is, but I don't like using them. So I'd say ideally Gromma, and behind Gromma, Brig. Yeah, so that's for Slot 3. For Slot 5, we really need a +1 intelligence for Calliope, so we can get Calliope in on that. Xander! Xander qualifies. Dadius, of course, qualifies. Keelik. Not Gwent, yeah. Prudence does, but She's DPS. I'm gonna say Keelik for slot 5. Yeah, Keelik, full confidence. Absolutely my pick for slot 5 for Strahd. Keelik. Go Keelik. And for, what was it? 7? No, slot 12. Okay. So I can't actually look at slot 12 yet, but I will say that probably the best in slot 12 is Zorbu for Strahd. Yeah, whether as DPS or as support, you want Zorbu. But I believe you have to get an intelligence feat for Zorbu to make them qualify for Strahd, so get on that. Yeah, get your +1 intelligence feat. That comes from gold chests, so open up some gold chests. Speaking of, I want to do that. I'll get to question 10, and then I'll start opening up some chests, okay? Everyday J. Question, is the usual free time gate weekend not happening between Cimmeral and Winter Shield? I don't know why it wouldn't. I haven't heard any plans for it to not happen. We just had a back-to-back time gate weekend, and that's not going to necessarily throw off our time gate schedule moving forward. It's still every 3 weeks, just like events are every 3 weeks. We just occasionally have to have, like, a back-to-back thing as a buffer zone to get things back on schedule, essentially. Although we've had 2? We've had 2 back-to-back time gate weekends this year, and I'm really not clear as to why. I don't know. It says the gates open in 32 days, which is more than 3 weeks. Really? Well, I'm currently in a time gate, so it doesn't tell me that the next one's in 32 days. So, either that's a bug, or that's like something that was decided because the holiday season's coming up. But 32 days, that's over a month. That's over a month. Ridiculous. Restart your game. As Daniner just said, restart your client, close your game, reopen it, and if it still says that, put in a ticket. I'll mention it to Sean later today, too, but that's weird. Alright, so multiple people in chat here says 32 days. Seriously. Okay. I'm betting they're already aware of it. It's just, it's been the weekend, so... out of office. But they should be in the office in 15 minutes, so I'm sure it will get talked about. Thanks for the report. I'm going to make a note about that right now. TG 32 days. All right, I'll mention it later. Thank you. Lyra. I've got the stream up on my TV, a cat curled up next to me, and peppermint tea. Good start to the day. That sounds lovely. That sounds picturesque. Super cozy. And as for me, I've got my cup of Earl Grey. I've got a gray skies day. There's birds outside, but they're being quiet, which is perfect. I like birds until they make any noise. And then I don't like birds. That's why I like hummingbirds. They shut up. And they're pretty. Yeah. Flexbone for the win. Mission to Mars, Red Planet, or The Martian? The Martian. Yeah, I enjoyed The Martian, and I haven't seen the others. So, my choice by default is The Martian, I suppose. Star Chaser. Hey, chat, how can we help Mars celebrate episode 100? Holiday cosplay costumes? Just a thought. Chat, please. Okay, if we can talk about this, if my math is correct, now that I'm on a 6-show per week schedule, episode 100 should land on Friday, December 17th. That'd be a morning show like this one. Episode 100. Goodness. So, chat, if you have ideas for a cool thing to do for episode 100 of Mars Guiding Hand, sound off. Like, tell me in chat, tell me in Discord, tell me on Twitter. Those are the best ways to get a hold of me, any of those three. I would love to hear your thoughts on cool things that we can do for episode 100. You'll cosplay as an average Swedish man. Thanks, Silverion. Alias Buck is going to dress as TTRPG gifts. I'm going to tell them you said that. They'd appreciate it. That's funny. Yeah. All right. Ifina, question. Is it worth opening my Electrum chest for all my new Timegate characters now, or wait for Simroll and open with them as well? Seeing as how it's a couple of days till Simroll, I'd say wait. Yeah, wait, just wait a couple more days, and then open them up. Yeah. But, I mean, unlock the characters first. That's important. Make sure to, get the characters from Simroll before you actually open those. Yeah. Trentonator. Questions. Okay, plural. Past few episodes, you and Gar gave us chess codes verbally that I didn't know about. Any goodies this week? What? Verbal chest codes? That a thing? I don't know what you're talking about there. Do you mean like our year end? Okay, hold on. See if that's still working. Yeah, apparently that's still working. So Nightbot, we just got Nightbot to post the year-end celebrate code. If you put year-end celebrate into your game, it's in chat right now. You'll get Zorbu, one of the best DPS characters in the game, and a very strong support. Outside of that, there's a gnome ranger in slot 12 with a crossbow and a heart full of hatred. You'll also get a free Zorbu skin, which looks extremely cool. The crossbow's like frozen over in just in case in ice. It's awesome. And also 3 gold Zorbu chests, so you can immediately gear them up. So that's a really good code, and that expires on Wednesday. So use it now. Don't miss it. Oh yeah, and okay, Doorbell saying we've also had those okay, yeah. Yeah, some other extra codes. So to be clear, those other codes aren't associated specifically with our shows, like with my show, Mars Guiding Hand, or with Gar's either of 2 shows, Gar's Guide to Everything or Gar's Guide to a specific thing, different one each week. They are codes that exist because CNE wants them to exist, because we just give away free things. They might be related to a different code, or a different show, I mean. Or they might just be a celebration of some kind. The year-end celebrate code is part of this year's end festival. Speaking of, I was waiting to claim my 4 out of 7 bonus until I was on stream. So, if you didn't know about this, right now, the year's end festival, we're 5 days through. At 12 p.m. Pacific today will be the start of day 6. 12 p.m. Pacific tomorrow will be the start of day 7. You can get free stuff every single day just for opening up your game, clicking on this banner, and then opening a chest. If you miss a chest, that sucks. I'm sorry. But if you get 4 out of 7, you'll get bonus free stuff, which is this. There we go. This. Boop, boop, boop. 5 gold chests. Icewind Dale Ashara, which is gonna be my default skin for Ashara forever. Probably. It looks really good. And Spellmaster Feat for Ashara. Icewind Dale needs protectors. This is self DPS increase 120% for Ashara. Oh my god. Ashara mains rejoice! We are eating well today. Hey, this button's still blue. Okay. So you can't cheese it and get it multiple times or something. Yeah, let me go ahead and do this. So here's my full legendary Ashara. Boom, Icewind Dale Ashara. Yeah! It looks so good! It looks so good! Oh my goodness. Actually, you know what? I want to do all Icewind Dale I want to do all Icewind Dale. No one from that. Oh wait, no. There's Regis. Yes, Regis has an Icewind Dale skin. Good. Is there any Icewind Dales in here? I don't think so. Icewind Dales here? I don't think so. This one? No. This one, yes. Catti-brie. Icewind Dale. Okay, Humon is from Icewind Dale, so we'll just keep Humon in here. Dritz. Icewind Dale. Good. And Tyrell. Yeah, we'll do Tyrell Icewind Dale as well. Sweet. Yeah, that's cool. This is not an optimal formation whatsoever. But it doesn't have to be. We're just here to have some fun. Question, can Zeraphon play the xylophone? You know, even if Zeraphon couldn't, I bet Zeraphon could imitate someone who can. As you say, fake it till you make it. This applies to no champion more strongly than Zeraphon. Zeraphon's entire existence revolves around the phrase, fake it till you make it. Tyranno, wait, athlete feats? Yeah, so if you're not aware, Tyranno, feats exist in the game. They came out like, I don't know, a couple of years ago. They added the feats to the game, which is really cool. And feats let you fiddle with the mechanics of a character a little bit. Sometimes a lot of a bit. So just looking at Ashara, for example, because I just got the Spellmaster. Yeah, I'm going to put that right there. Cool. Ashara, for example, selflessness, all champion damage by up by a little bit. Adept, her own damage up by a little bit. Elementalist, a little bit more damage. Spellmaster, even more damage. Probably one of her best feats in the whole game right now. Bonds of Kirsta Ball, one of her other best feats in the whole game right now. And then Actor, increase the charisma score of Ashara by 1. So one of the like subset of feats are a group of, there's like a group of feats. There's Athlete, there's Actor, there's Keen Mind. And what these do is that they increase the ability score associated with that feat for that champion by 1 while that feat is active. So look carefully at Ashara's character sheet right here. It says 14 charisma, okay? If I turn on Actor, it changed to 15 charisma. This matters because there's actually a large portion of the game where ability scores factor in. For example, adventure variants that might say like, only charisma 15 plus characters can be used in this adventure variant, so no Ashara's allowed because Ashara's got charisma 14. Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to mention I do have my special little VIP card that it does say +1 charisma on Ashara, so my Ashara does have 15 charisma. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, your Ashara's got 15 charisma. You're cool. You can come in. That's why that matters. You can fiddle with their ability scores and make them qualify for things. It also matters for things like, I think, like Dadius, Zorbu, Hitch, Krond. There's various champions who also care about the ability scores of other champions in your formation. For example, Krond wants as many high strength, like strength 18 plus, or is it 16 plus? Man, it's been so long since I've named Krond. Let me just check myself. Survival of the fittest. Strength 16 or higher. Aha, yes. Good, glad I checked. So, Krond wants as many people who are either evil aligned in the formation as possible, or have a strength score of 16 or higher in the formation as possible. So, maybe one of your favorite characters has a 15 in strength, and they're not evil. Maybe you want to use Catti-Brie alongside Krond DPS. Well, Catti-Brie doesn't have 15 strength, but what Catti-Brie does have is a +1 strength feat. Ho ho. Pick that up, put that on. Now Catti-Brie qualifies for buffing Krond. Isn't that cool? And perhaps the most important thing is just patrons. It's not going to matter for Mert, but Vajra, Strahd, and Zerial, their patron restrictions are all informed by champion ability scores. Vajra wants a con score of 14 or higher on every champion. Strahd wants intelligence of 13 or higher on every champion. Zerial wants strength score of 10 or higher and a charisma score of 13 or higher on every champion. And that's where those feats really, 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 really matter. So yeah, athlete feats are a thing, as well as many other ability score changing feats. Amateur Hour just started yesterday. Looks like I have a lot left to unlock. Heck yeah, this is an in-depth game. People dismiss it out of hand because I guess the art style, or the fact that it's free to play, or the fact that it's marketed as an idle game. But they really shouldn't. Because that's very unfair. There's a lot to unpack here. There are hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of hours of content to play in this game. It's a lot. If you're looking for a huge time sink game, Idle Champions is a good pick. But it's also cool because it doesn't have to be. The game itself doesn't, like, pressure you to pour thousands and thousands of hours into it. You can. You can also just run it in the background and check on it when you feel like it. That's how I played it. I did, like... My life has been a roller coaster for years. And Idle Champions has helped me get through a lot of it. I don't want to go into it too deep, but like Idle Champions basically saved my life. It gave me something to focus on when I was in the absolute depths of despair and depression. But Idle Champions has also been there even when my life got super busy. Like working in a 9-to-5 call center job. It sucked every day and I hated it. But I did it because I had to. But Idle Champions was always there, running in the background. I couldn't check on it, but I knew it was there, and that was a comfort. It can be a huge in-depth game if you choose it to be. It can also be a background fish tank full of D&D characters, if you choose it to be. Idle Champions is what you make of it. And that's one of my favorite things about this game. Oversiver, hey, how to get the same speed as displayed on the stream? What hero should I focus on? Ah! Or is that Oversiver? I'm going to call you Over. Alright, so Over, we have an ! Speed command you can put in chat. I'll do it myself here. ! SPEED. Boop. And that will get Nightbot to post, there we go, to post a clip where I am explaining how go fast. It's essentially just a combination of things. There are characters that make the game go faster through a variety of means. There are other factors at work, like your Modron core. This is the speed core, the fast core. So if I have this one on, if you look closely, the game is going faster now. The fast core has effects that make the game go faster. It's one of the easiest things that you can do to make it go faster, but it's a lot of work to get to the point that you have that as an option, because you have to beat Split the Party 2 to have that. Which is easier now than it used to be, but... Elduin has a good point. How go fast is before the era of Human. But I also don't go in depth into like every single speed champion in that clip. It's more of just saying speed champions exist. Here's a couple of examples. There are others. But one of the things in the game now is that champions that make the game go faster actually have the speed roll. This didn't exist for over a year, but C&E finally went along with the voice of the community. We've been referring to champions that make the game go faster as speed champions for a long, long time, and C&E finally decided, you know what, yep, okay, speed is now an official role, and we'll put that on the characters that it applies to. Human is a speed champion. Sentry is a speed champion. Probably the easiest one to drop in and make use of for their speed, Deacon. Deacon's a really good choice for that. Deacon is a slot 1 Kobold Bard, who is a speed champion. They make enemies appear on the screen faster. The faster enemies are appearing on the screen, the faster you can take them out. And the faster you take them out, the faster you progress through your quests, through your stages, through your adventure. So the whole game goes faster, just because of that. So yeah, get a Deacon. Have yourself a merry little Deacon. Irian. Question, when I was trying out Zeraphon the other day, I put a clicker on the ultimate to ensure it was triggering. Each time I switched away parties that seemed to zero the stack's indentation. Bug? Yeah. Yeah, I believe that that is a bug that they're aware of. So, patience on that one. Oh, yeah. Just real quick, Andrea Raven asking, isn't Xander also a speed champion? Yes. I don't want to admit it. I don't think he is. And for the longest time, this has been my battle that I've said, like, no, Xander's not a speed champion. Ah! Because it looks like he would be on paper, but in actual practice, the way the speed champions are played, he's not. He's not! Ah! But, my little tirades and little soapbox moments talking about Xander not being a speed champion, I also said the only way I would ever refer to Xander as a speed champion is if the speed roll became official and C&E themselves put the speed tag on Xander. Well, they did. They actually did do that. So, Xander's a speed champion. Ah, I feel dirty for even saying it. Ah, moving on. Yeah, I got Monkey Pod. That's really funny. Bunny Beast. Yeah. Mikey Jr. Yeah. Question. I just unlocked my first patron, and I'm having trouble finding combinations to get me to 250 to beat those Mert variants. Suggestions. So you're playing Mert as your first patron. Okay. Only good or evil champions can be used. Yeah. No neutrals. No neutrals allowed when you're playing Mert. So there are some good DPS options for Mert. There's also good support champions options for Mert. The problem, Mikey Jr., is I'm gonna struggle to give you suggestions for like how to build a Mert formation without knowing what characters you have available. And seeing as there's 91, soon to be 92 characters in the game, I can't just ask you for a list that you could drop into chat nice and neat. So I have 2 suggestions for you, Mikey Jr., so listen carefully. 2 suggestions. Suggestion 1, Discord. Get on our Discord. That's discord.gg/idlechampions. Put that in your browser and you'll get there. It's the official Idle Champions Discord. We also have a command, !Discord in chat. Get you a link to our Discord server. Once you're there, there's both like a new players channel that might be helpful, but there's also a formation channel that might be more specifically what you need right now, because you'll be able to like post your, here's my Merc formation, please help, here's the champions I own, and then people will happily, eagerly help you figure out your formation. However, suggestion number 2, if you'd prefer a more hands-on approach, there isn't a scheduled day and time slot for it yet, but we have a new show. Episode 1 was last week. It's called Formation Save, and it's hosted by our very own Sean and Taylor. They are our ticket masters. They're the ones who take your bug reports and do something about it. They fix the things. Yeah, time for the plug. Well, yeah, because, I mean, I'm literally an employee of the company, so yes, time for the plug. But also because I'm still a fan of the game. Don't lose the forest for the trees here. I love Idle Champions, and I love our community. It's the whole reason I'm sitting here. Wouldn't be here if it weren't for that. So, Formation Save is an extremely cool show that is, like, uniquely in the hands of Sean and Taylor, because using their, like, admin abilities in the company, like, I couldn't do it. They can do it. They can load your formations with exact, like, whatever your gear levels are, whatever unlocks you have, all of your items. They can, basically, they make a clone of your game and open it on their computer and stream that. And then they show you what you can do to actually make your formation better. Because they don't just fix bugs, they understand this game inside and out. Like, they actually play the game and enjoy it and know a lot about it. So, yeah. Check out Formation Save, our newest show. But I can't tell you a day and time to watch because, as far as I'm aware, that has not actually yet been decided. It will. We just don't have it yet. Okay. Hesjing's, he's Jing Ixen. Sure. I've seen people say that with lots of gear, Kron can be an effective DPS. Yeah, just talk to Anime Hemo on Discord. But he's almost always mentioned with Artemis, and looking at Kron's kit, aside from Artemis as being evil, I don't see what the synergy is. Am I missing something? Well, it might be having to do with the fact that Artemis himself is a DPS, and Artemis wants you to have other DPS champions in the formation. When people talk about using Artemis with Kron, they might be talking about Artemis DPS specifically, which just also has Kron in the formation. Maybe. I can't think of examples of people talking about Kron with Artemis. I can think of plenty of times that I've seen people talking about at like absolutely monstrously high gear levels, like I'm talking item levels in the 10,000s, which I'm like halfway to at best personally. At that level, Kron and Artemis can be stupid strong. I mean, absolutely crushingly strong. But that's an incredible level of investment that even me at 21,125 hours in the game, at best I am halfway. With my strongest character, I'm halfway to that level of power. So that's amazing. And 20, Fennec question, can you show how those 6 specialization choices show up in the automation specialization screen? Oh, like for Zeraphon. Yeah, okay. I'm curious about that myself. How many can I get? Can I get all of them? I can't get all of them, but I can get 5. Alright. So I guess what I need to do is save a formation that has Zeraphon in it. This doesn't matter, I'll just destroy it afterward. and then put that in here, and then look at the specializations, and oh! Ha! Yeah, okay. That works. So that's what Zeraphon specializations look like in automation. Just a cute little 6-pack of boxes. Okay, neat. Good question. Thanks for asking. That takes us through 20 questions so far. We are in our second hour here. Oh, God Glowy Andipamil. Where do you get Zeraphon? Zeraphon, real quick. Question 21, I guess. Is at the very end of the Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign. Over here, the Regan Glacier. Down here, the Fall of Ythryn. You have to complete this variant called A Lesson in Classes. It's a variant of the Fall of Ythryn in the Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign. If you beat this variant, which is honestly pretty tough, you'll unlock Zeraphon permanently. That's how you get Zeraphon. You're welcome. Good luck. Let me know if you actually do unlock them. They're pretty cool. Yeah, Gar has a guide for everything. Martin and I were in chat one day last week joking about, like, what if Jason Charles Miller, Bardic Inspiration, did a song about Galar? What would that sound like? And like I concepted a little bit, like workshopped a little bit, like, he's got a guide for that. You wanna learn about dwarves, you wanna learn about kobolds, wanna learn about dragons, he's got a guide for that. You wanna build up your Azaka farm, you wanna split the party, I know a guy for that. He's got a guide for that. Yeah, it's too bad Gar's not here to hear me singing this, but yeah. Gar told me before he wouldn't be able to catch these morning shows, which is sad, but I'll see him on Wednesdays. Like normal. Yeah. Now, what was I gonna do? Oh, yeah. Let's open up some chests. I'm going to start with gold chests because I want to hunt shinies and feats for Zeraphon. Let's go. And epics. Streamer luck! Okay, I'll take 3 feats. There's like 5 or 6 feats I'm hunting for Zeraphon. I'll take 3 feats and 4 epics. This will finish off the epics, for sure, and hopefully the feats. Evelyn? What's an Evelyn feat doing in here? I didn't realize she got a new chest feat. What? Okay, fine, sure. And there we go. That should finish off Zeraphon, and I also got a walnut chest feat. Cool. Okay, and let's check on Zeraphon now. Looks like yes, that's all epic equipment. That's all feats are now accounted for. Which means we are shiny hunting, folks. This is what it looks like when you hunt for shinies. I haven't done this since the last Evergreen unlock, which was Rhea. A little sad that you can only open 50 chests at a time, and I'm looking at opening up several thousand. Oh, Silverian, I just opened, I think, 150 gold chests. Something like that. If anyone was watching and they remember the number, I'd appreciate it, but I think I just opened about 150 golds. Okay, now we got to a nice, even 1,000 number. Tell you what, I'll open 1,000 chests. I'll open 1,000 silvers, and because I don't want this to be the entire stream, I'll stop there, we'll do something else, and I'll come back to this. So let's go. Let's get some shinies. My potions and blacksmithing contracts and item levels are going to skyrocket a bit here. I already had a lot of consumables, but the pile will just grow ever larger now. I gain more consumables than I use at this point, so like eventually I'll be at the point where my consumables are listed as an E number. You'll need orders of magnitude to tell me how many of, like, I don't know, medium potion of heroism that I own. No shiny so far. We're halfway through our first 1,000, and no shiny yet. If I can get one shiny in the first 1,000 here, I'll be satisfied with that. Oh wow, not even anything good from that set. Wow. That's rare. Because it shows you, like, here's the best stuff, like blue stuff, blue rarity tier, which is rare tier, as a little preview before we go to the bigger screen. So it's rare when you open up a set of 50 chests and there's none of them. Oh yeah! Okay. We already had one, so that is that I got from over the weekend. So that's shiny number 2 for Zeraphon. We're at 2 out of 6. I'll continue to finish off this first 1,000. Thank you, chat. Thank you. Thank you. Streamer luck. I would use my button. If you've been a fan of the show for a while, you know that I own a button that has the Idle Champions logo on it. That red beholder, her name is Iris, has a little decal on the thing. And when I press it, you can hear Sean's voice saying, "Oh man, the streamer button broke again." It was a little joke. But on my recent trip to Canada to visit the CNE office and meet everyone on the team for the first time, I brought the shiny button with me, and I gave it to Sean as a gift. So Sean is now the keeper of the button. So if you want to see the button again, you'll have to ask him. That is a lot of silver chests. I have opened 10,000 silvers on stream before. It took like an hour. I don't want to do that again. That was a lot. So I just opened up. I just opened up 10,000, and we're gonna keep it at that for now. Whew. Okay, questions are still piling up, but you know what? I got something else we can talk about today. I think you'll be very interested to see this. Because, same show, different days, different schedule, but you're going to be seeing my face a whole lot more often now, right? So we've got hours to fill, we've got content to cover. What's one of the best ways y'all can think of to fill the time when we have to do 2 hours or more every day? I know something we can do. Just a second. I do this. I do this. Hey, what's up? New account, baby! Let's start it all over again! Welcome to Mars Guiding Hand, and welcome to my new, fresh account on Epic Game Store. This has been something I've talked about doing for months. Playing a new account from absolute fresh, like absolute day one. Because sometimes, you know, we get people in here that talk about how my main account is too strong now to show like a realistic approach for the game, like playing through content in the game. So, let's just start over. Let's just use 2 accounts on this show. I'll do my main account when I need to show off brand new content, because then I can just like instantly level up someone, right? Because I have enormous favor. That's what we've been doing for forever. Why don't you spend the gold you've collected? Okay. Fine. Ah, my damage is increased. Thank you, friend. You're welcome. Yep, there you go. I'm gonna give you a buff. Ah, praise Moradin. Yeah, praise Moradin. You're doing great, buddy. Let's go, Tutorial Dwarf. As an extra little rule... Oh, yeah, I know, click damage is the thing. Extra little rule, I'm gonna skip this year-end festival on my new account. I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm not gonna redeem that special year-end chest code and get Zorbu for free. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do this first time gate that's currently available. I'm just gonna start completely fresh. Alright, let's move on to the next stage. No codes, no promos challenge. Yeah, sure. I feel like that's a good compromise, because I don't want to do gearless on this, and I don't want to do evergreens only. But I think, okay, yeah, I won't do any codes or promotions on this account. I can always change my mind later, but for now, I like that as a compromise. Because, yeah, I hear what you have all been saying. And I feel like there's been enough chatter about it and enough excitement about it that this is a good chance that we have here, now that this is a daily show, to go through and start over. Okay. Electrum codes seem fine. Yeah. Yeah. I can agree with that. I like that we're hammering out the details as a collective. That's cool. Yeah, Electrums are definitely part of the normal experience. This is so true. And we give out so many each week now. Yeah, so I guess I'll pick up Electrum chests and use them. But that'll be it. Ah, be well, Flanagan. I shall see you again, hopefully on the morrow. Reaver, will you be pointing out uses for little-used champions as they come up? Absolutely, I will do that. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to be talking about all kinds of things. I think one of the things that I want to cover in the tutorial here, this is the tutorial adventure, brand new account, is how many achievements you can get very, very early. So like clicking novice. I've already clicked almost 250 times. Yeah, a lot of these can be achieved like day one. You can get a lot of achievements very quickly. Here's one. I am going to do Time Gates Ballast. I'm just not going to do this first one, because I'm starting the game at like the final day of this current time gate. So starting on the next time gate, I will do time gates. Hey, check this out. Community management. Look. What's that right there? That's my name. Ah! Oh my god. Yeah, in 32 days. Yeah, don't worry. I made a note about that. I'll talk to people on the team. I've got a meeting to run to as soon as this is over. Oh, I just drowned myself. The tea bag flopped over while I was drinking, and just a flood of tea just whoosh, hit me. There you go. View the credits. There's one achievement done. Hey. Okay, good. Will you get the tutorial variant? No. No, I don't think we have the variant anymore. I think that's just gone. I might wipe here for my first attempt, but we will recover. Go, Brunor! Smash! That was nothing. You should be ashamed. Take that, Null Scum! Die, Null Leader! It's been so long. Oh, yep. Yep, we're gonna have to go back and farm. This is so fun. Yeah. Let's do some more questions while my team is farming here. Severian question, can we get an absolutely assured Pinky Promise Bardic Inspiration 2 is stream safe? I want to pick it up and play it all the time. I don't think there's anyone I can ask in the office right now. But I will ask. And if I get an answer, I'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm making a note now. Put this on upgrade. That's better. Okay. Let's see. BI safe for streams? Question mark. And I'll even write your name down specifically, Silverian, so that I remember to mention you. Okay. Star Somar. Question. I just unlocked Split the Party, but my secondary team isn't really that great for the upcoming event. Would it be wise putting them in the event, or just continue farming gems and chests? Putting your secondary team in for the event. You should be using your main team for playing events. Your background team is probably best served just farming gems in the background. Or, I don't know, like, there you go, 500 clicks already. Or, starting a run that you just want to get back to later so that you don't forget. Sometimes I use my background parties just to remind me about things that I'm trying to accomplish. Because if I don't at least start a thing when I think about it, I might forget. And that's not fun. Okay, we got 3 people. Let's try that. Okay, Fun Vampire. How far into Icewind Dale is the new guy? The absolute end. Once a new champion was coming out, I assumed it was a new event champion. Yeah, it's almost always a new event champion, but like once a year we'll get an evergreen champion, a non-event champion will be added to the game. And usually pretty tough to unlock at the time. Zeraphon will be easier to unlock as time goes on. Case in point, Azaka. When Azaka first came out, Azaka was extremely difficult to unlock. And it took me 3 months of actively trying, like once a week, to finally unlock Azaka. But I did. Finally did. Here we go. So Brunor forces you to go to this chest opening screen, right? But this is where you can choose. If you want to play gearless, you can just click on close, and he moves on. That's the trick to starting gearless. You go with him to the chest opening screen, and then you just leave it. But we're not actually going to play a gearless account here. We are going to open up things. So let's go. First chest. First chest! Okay, Brunor axe. I have a friend who their very first chest, it was that axe, but it was shiny. Amazing. I threw up my hands and walked out of the room. It's incredible. I'm glad you're enjoying the captions. I worked so hard on getting those captions. Like making them look nice, making sure it was 3 lines. I put an outline on them so that they pop more, so that they're easier to read. Yeah. I put so much work into this overlay, so I really hope you all like the new visual format of the show. A lot of love and time went into it this past weekend. Quality! Integrity! Mars Cunningham. Silverian asks, what time is it? Showtime. What time is it? Showtime! Yeah. The time is Over here on the East Coast, it's 11:31 a.m. And according to my desk clock that I have set to Pacific time, so that I don't get it confused ever, it is 8:31 on the Pacific time. The West Coast, which is where C&E is. So that's the office hours. In-game time, because the game functions on Pacific time, because that's C&E time. It is 8:31 in the morning. Yeah, quality, integrity. That's good. That's good, Zerg. Help! They've taken my family! Well, maybe you shouldn't have let them, Manfred. That's on you. No, I'm kidding. Heroes wouldn't have a job to do if there weren't people to save. And bandits to slaughter, apparently. It'd be nice if we could just, like, I don't know, rehabilitate the bandits instead, but I guess we're killing them. And picking up the severed heads of the kidnapped travelers. Okay. A little disturbing. Kale Leonel, when do you recommend going for Split the Party 2? I'm currently have 2 pages unlocked to 49 champs. You're ready. If you have at least 3 champions in each slot, like, as soon as you're ready to try it, you should. You should try it. What do you have to lose? A little time? Okay, fine. Just give it a shot. We've got guides for that. My buddy Garwar, he's got a guide for that. Yeah. Give it a try. Let us know how it goes. Eomia, now that you have a daily show, Mars, do you have enough content ideas to fill 6 shows a week, or do you want input from chat? Hey, that's the this. I've got 2 accounts. 2 accounts to play now. I got my main account on Steam, which is where we're gonna, like, primarily show off new content. I will also show off new content once I'm capable of completing the things that unlock the new content on this new account. But until then, this other one will be for showing off fresh perspective. This is something I do basically every year anyway. In fact, this is the 3rd new account that I've started in 2021. The 3rd one. Yeah. But this is the first one of those that I have decided to stream, like, the whole thing. I haven't decided if I will also be playing this off-stream or if it's going to be strictly on-stream. Because Idle Champions does require a lot of time to put into it. And if I can only play this new account for 2 hours a day, weekdays, that might be enough. But, like, I'd miss out on time gates, for example, if I did that, you know? So, I haven't decided. I guess I could start time gates on Monday mornings, like right now. So maybe that works. Yeah, that way I could still get a time gate done before the event starts. Sure. It's something I'm gonna have to think about in workshop. But also, chat, or in Eomia, to answer your question, yeah, if you would like input for stuff for me to do on this new daily show, tell me. Absolutely. It's fine. I'm open to suggestions. I reserve the right to accept or decline suggestions. Suggestions are not demands. Remember that. But yeah. I pride myself on community engagement, on interaction with chat. That's why we do Twitch polls. That's why I do a weekly Trials of Mount Tiamat group with all you guys. So, yeah, if you have ideas for cool things to do, lay it on me. I've got things. I've got ideas. I've got some bells and whistles. Some little toys that I've plugged into my streaming tech over here. For example, I have a random champion slot decider button built into my Stream Deck now. I have a little dice roller basically on my Stream Deck that I can just poke the button and it'll give me a number between 1 and 12. So I could use that for things. Like maybe every time someone subscribes, I just poke the button. And I have to change someone in that slot. That could be fun. But yeah, if you guys have suggestions, suggestion, design a nice overlay for formation saves. They don't block up the bench with their camera picks anymore. Yeah, I would like formation save to have a nice overlay. But that's ultimately up to them. It's their show, not mine. You know, we all have opinions. But it's not my show. And I'll respect that. DG1 Inanix question: when do you stop farming genocide kills for Zorbu? When do you stop farming kills for Zorbu? Is there a max cap, or do you do it forever? I mean, you do it forever unless you suddenly decide that you want to play a different DPS. That's the real answer. Oh, we have a gold chest. We should open that up, too. Boom. Really? Our best gear so far is for the champion furthest away from me. Ugh. That's annoying. Ah, but you know what? Yep, bounty contracts are here. That's cool. Something I can do? I can put in my own Mars on Monday chest code. There we go. You can type into that little cryptex. Electrum chest. And I'm going to ignore my own rules for Electrum chests, because I usually say save them for events, right? But instead, because it's day one, hour one of the game, and I desperately need new gear. So I'm going to go ahead and open that Electrum. I love seeing... I'm catching all of your comments in here, because I am paying attention to chat. I'm noticing a lot of love and appreciation for playing the new account. Thank you. You know, just the whole reason I'm doing it is because I felt it in the air that chat would appreciate me playing a brand new account from day one, like tutorial onward. So that, I don't know, like, the title of the show makes even more sense. Like, take my hand and I will guide you through the whole game, starting with tutorial. Day one, let's go. But also keep in mind that I will also be playing my main account, so that we can show off other things. Like, we just got Zeraphon, and I was able to go through all of Zeraphon stuff on stream today. Having done my due diligence for showing off the new content, I can now play the new account, so that we can appeal to the new players' audience. And just like that, we're already up to the golden achievement. Things are really popping off now. If we can get an early slot 4 epic for Jarlaxle, oh, that would be a game changer. Because that's his gold find equipment. Will the credits be updated to include Bardic Inspiration too? Oh, like for the Bardic Inspiration stuff? Probably. By the way, the music you're hearing is still coming from my main game, not from this one. It would be wild if I also played the jukebox in here, because then you'd be hearing 2 Bardic Inspirations simultaneously. It'd be weird if they didn't update the credits. So I am assuming that they will. Let's try that again. Alright, Illusion, sorry if I'm a noob for asking this. It's okay. I'm playing a new account. You can have 1 hour of the game. You can have 1 million hours in the game. You can have 1 minute in the game. You're all welcome here. I love helping new players. I get to say, welcome to Idle Champions every time. It's one of the things I like to do. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Kill it. Switch the people around. Not that it really matters right now. Duncan, if I'm not going to get the daily gift, I'm going to ignore the festival celebration promo stuff on this new account. Yeah. Alright, so let's see. Illusion, your question was, you have more music than I do, am I missing something? Ah, yeah, so as of last week, there's now a second volume of Bardic Inspiration, and you can find that available on sale in your store platform of choice. I know for sure it's on Steam, but it's also like it's built into the game. So they're all here. You can just play them from the jukebox, but if you want them like as files, then you'll have to buy the content. You have to buy the DLC. So I think it's $9.99 for each album. That's in US dollars. Yeah, I can spend gems, that's right. But I don't really want to. I'd rather save it up for Mage Hand, so I can get a quick early familiar. The real scary Norm question, maybe the wrong time, but what software do you use for your stream? OBS, Open Broadcasting Software. I have some plugins, but... Well, Awoo Boy, I believe the currency will display based on, like, what region your client is loading from. Like, if you're playing in Canada, then it should show up in Canadian dollars. Flanagan, Rosie is bad. Flanagan left earlier, but, yeah. Rosie has uses, but outside of those uses, Rosie is bad. Moving on. TXN. Questions. When I level my champs, if I used the 100 or 25 levels, like this thing, okay, the level up style, I still have to press the weapon icon to get the level effect, I think, and pressing the level up one at a time requires lots of clicks too. Is there a better way or setting, or am I missing something? Yeah, my favorite thing is to put a familiar on it. If you have a familiar on it, on leveling them up, then it will level them up and take the upgrade. So, yeah, no clicking required at all. Like, it'll do it simultaneously. It's good. It's useful. Sneezy Dwarf. I just started playing today. Welcome to Idle Champions! I'm so thrilled. Every time we get a new person in, it's like, yeah! Grow that community! Woo! Love it. So, welcome. I hope that you enjoy yourself. Are there any YouTubers you would recommend for tips, but also fun gameplay? Yeah. Codename Entertainment, we have 2 YouTube channels, in fact. Martin, by any chance, could we get links for the YouTube in chat? There we go. Yeah, we have a command for that. ! YouTube. Check those out. Specifically, the videos that I would recommend are basically any of the videos from Garowar. If it says Garowar's Guide to something, whatever, check those out, specifically. Garowar is our resident expert on explaining how things work in this game. He's got a guide for that, whatever the subject may be. He's written over 100 guides and is showing no signs of slowing down. And his streams are kind of like video essays of those subjects. So that if you need like specific advice on something, just find a Garowar show that is on that subject and watch that. He also answers questions from chat in those shows as well. So those would all be useful to digest. Have fun. And Garowar is also like live. Garowar has 2 shows on our channel, so catch those when they're live as well, if you can. Jezebel Merchisa. Question, any good advice for getting more potions or farming them somehow? I have the Modest and Speed core both halfway leveled. Nice. decent speed formation and buy all the epic patron potions every time I can. I find myself mostly running out of speed pots. Is the trick just farming for gems and opening gold chests? It's honestly, if you're trying to get epic potions, yes. But if you're trying to get any other potions, no, go silvers instead. If you want to grow your collection of consumables, and you don't necessarily care about getting epics specifically, go for silvers. You will stockpile consumables from silver chests at a much faster rate than you will from gold chests. Reno the Nerd, how do you farm chests in this game? So, there's different schools of thought, but I'll say that probably the most popular, the most talked about method is to do what we call Mad Wizard farming. There's a specific adventure which I can't show off on this account, but I can on my other account. So give me just a second, because I figured out how to do this over the weekend. Basically, I just have to open up my game layer in OBS. I have to make sure that I have the account I want to switch to on the foreground, and then I need to switch my game setting to capture full screen application and then back to capture specific window. And like magic, it will switch to my other account very easily. So yeah, here's my other account. So on here, I can show you where that adventure is located. I'm so fancy. Yeah. I put a lot of work in over the weekend to try to figure out all of this stuff so that we wouldn't have any hiccups, any slip-ups. Here's the Mad Wizard. So this is the tutorial. This is where the tutorial happens. And then down here is where you find the Mad Wizard. You go into this free play of the Mad Wizard. You play that free play, and you just go to, like, stage 30, or 80, or 130, or 180, or 230, or 280, so on and so forth. Like, the highest increment of n plus 30, where n is the beginning of the loop, that you can reach, relying only on your click damage. So that you have your speed champions out there and they're doing their speed thing, but otherwise your familiars are the ones that are killing everything. And you set your Mojang automation to just loop that infinitely. That's Mad Wizard farming. That is the most popular way of amassing gems and chests in the game. Yeah, as Lurking Rider points out, another school of thought that's come out more recently with the inclusion of Whittle as an event character in the game, this is Whittle right here, another speed champion, is that the Cursed Farmer might be better for farming, depending on your specific setup with your speed champions. Yeah, I'm going to switch back to my new game now. Whoop. Bow. Bow. Ha! So cool. I love that that works. Oh no, I'm dying! Midnight Griff, do silver chests give you any shinies? Yup, they definitely do. They definitely do that. This is true. It's a 1 in 1,000 chance that you'll get a shiny from any chest that gives gear. Any chest that gives gear. Yes, that means you can get a shiny in an Electrum chest. Yes, that means you can get a shiny in a Weekend chest. Yes, that means you can get a shiny in a Patron chest. If the chest gives gear, and it's not like a scripted kind of thing, like the Years In stuff, then it has a 1 in 1,000 chance of giving a shiny, even if it's just a lowly silver chest. Adarankar question. I've reached my level caps for my champions, reaching it at area 500. Nice. I'm not able to proceed beyond area 550 on Tombs. Tomb Annihilation? I haven't gone beyond the very start of Barovia yet, so Grand Tour, yeah, is much less for my progress. How do I reach beyond 554? You might need to look into getting new champions now. You might need to look into just grinding hard for item levels and shinies. Debuff swapping is always an option. Make sure that you are up to speed on, like, understanding how your champions work. So, for example, this is a very early game example, but choose an upgrade path for Bruenor. Shield Master, increased effective rally by 10% for 10 seconds whenever a champion within 2 slots of Bruenor's attack stacks up 25 times, or increased effective Bruenor's rally ability by 100% with Battle Master. Okay, so this is just flat out more power. Shield Master is up to a maximum of 250%, whereas this is 100%. So 250%, yeah, that's obviously bigger numbers. But it's 10% for counting champions that are under attack. And it's too early game for my Nayeli to be able to survive being attacked by 25 enemies at the same time. She just doesn't have the health for it. She doesn't have the tankiness to actually do that yet. So, for now, it's better if I take Battle Master for the flat increase. But eventually, and not even very long, eventually it will be better for me to take Shield Master basically all the time if I'm using Bruenor. So make sure you fully understand how your champions work, the ones that you're choosing to use. Pick up some debuff champions that you can swap in, like Warden. I will always sing the praises of Warden swapping. That Hex is so strong. Feats, that's another big one. And achievements. Those achievements matter. Right now, I'm getting a 6.152% increased all champion damage. Yeah! Barely is almost nothing. Whereas on my main account, I have a 7.45 EO4% increased all champion damage. Now those numbers matter. So yeah, every achievement counts. Those numbers add up. Patron perks, that's another big one. Blessings is another big one. Oh, we're gonna beat the tutorial. This is the final stage. Don't you worry about that. We just gotta beat this boss and we're good. And I have complete confidence that we will. I'll take Life Domain. There we go. Alright. And we just let this ride. So, I'm gonna answer questions. Let's see if I can knock out the remaining questions before I have to go off. Alright, so Aaron Carr, I'm sorry, Tyrell as not a bear? What's this, a moose? Yes, Icewind Dale Tyrell is a moose. You can also get a unicorn Tyrell for celestial skin. Orca Leader, will this also be true free-to-play? No bot familiars, etc.? I haven't decided. I'm on the fence whether I want to do fully free-to-play or kind of like not whaling, but what's it called? Dolphin? Or or what's the lowliest version? A shrimp, maybe? Maybe only get like tiny things. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it, but for now, it is completely free to play. Right, let me hit that complete button. We beat the tutorial. That's the wrong franchise. We don't have a victory sound effect. We should. That'd be cool. All right. Completion time, 9 days. Yeah, so transparency. I started the account nearly 10 days ago so that it would be ready in time to do this. Like, you'll notice the music wasn't already turned on. That's because I opened up the game before and turned off the music and then saved the game and closed it. So that the music is extremely loud the first time you open a brand new game. So that's why this says 9 days and etc. I was just preparing it for the stream. I didn't actually play the game. That's why I'm still in the tutorial, for crying out loud. Anyway, this is done. Alright. Oh, we do have the variant. Weird. I thought we didn't even have the variant anymore. I thought that was gone. But anyway. Let's do it. Newsletter sign up? Oh boy! I believe I will. Not where you can see it. I will do that. But I don't want you all to know my email. So tomorrow, I will have Hitch. Alright. Oh gosh, right, I want to get through the rest of these questions if I can. Oh dear. Chark question, though it's the last day for the free weekend. If you open it now, isn't the variant you choose still available for the 3 days complete? Yes, that is true for the time gates. Yes, yes, yes. Woo boy. So you don't recommend using background parties or variant busting? Oops. I mean, you can. Okay. Certain situations, like, it can actually be used to cheese the game a bit. Background parties can kind of ignore some of the dangerous elements of variants, and so you can use that to your advantage. But in my opinion, that also robs you of the fun, the whole point of it. So I don't do that, and you do you. Do what makes you happy, but I don't like that. Snoop Wolf. Cool. Welcome to the game, Celebrity Snoop Wolf. For Ashara Potpourri Shortfolk, who's the best replacement for Calliope? Calliope? Try new Penelope. Like, Penelope got reworked a bit. Try the new Penelope out for Ashara Potpourri Shortfolk. See how that goes. I mean, like, in slot 5? Do you want someone in slot 5? Because there is no short folk there. For a potpourri choice, you could go Keelek. Keelek's a great choice. Another Air Cobra. Onyx Squared, Morning Mars, what are some good multi-attack and fast DPS, specifically ones that don't share slots with credible speed champions? Binwin in slot 3 was, like, the reworked Binwin was kind of designed specifically for tearing up segmented health enemies by spamming attacks. So, try Binwin. Yeah, I don't really have other recommendations outside of that, I guess. It's the only thing I use Binwin for. Spike to read, suggestion, most of the champions have a lore to them, most of the players don't know that. Could you enlighten us? Oh god, that's a huge question. Okay, fastest way to do that, go on Google, search the name of a champion, and then include, like, D&D wiki at the end of the search phrase, and you'll probably land on the Forgotten Realms wiki, which will contain just buckets of information about each character for the lore. Try that. It's not going to include, like, some podcast stuff like the Heroes of Erois, but it might take you to the Heroes of Erois wiki for those champions. Doorbell stream suggestion, when you reach split the party, do it with only core evergreen. Hey, not a bad suggestion. Okay, that's going to be a while. It's going to be a while before we can do that, but if I can remember, okay, I can give it a shot. Andrea Raven question, what are the champions that reduce cooldown and base attack for other champions? Korth. Get Korth. Get Whittle. Those would be good. They're both slot 2, though. Snoop Wolf, hey Mars, what's your beard routine? I literally just shave. When I want to get fancy, I use a beard wax. That's, like, made from honey, I think. But that's only when I want to get fancy. Aaron Carr question, idea for the mobile game. Can the phone's keyboard be utilized so we can tap in the stream code so we aren't spending 20 minutes tapping tiny screens arrows to put in the codes? I think that's a great idea because I have tried the mobile experience and it's not great. Get on the Dev Insights Twitch stream that we have on Thursdays and ask them and, yeah, see what they say. Because I like that idea, personally. But I'm not the one who gets to make those decisions. Narwhal's in a trench coat. Why do you recommend a save chest for events? Electrum specifically, because you can instantly gear up your new characters that way once you have a huge pile, because we give out like 20 plus, probably like 30 or more Electrum chests every week now. And question 50, and I'm going to stop here. D. Steve, I bought the free game, then spent piles of money on it. Best way to unlock new companions. Every event, there's going to be 3 characters that you can unlock if you don't already own some of them. Every event. We have an event starting in 2 days. Then there's time gate weekends between each event, which will give you another chance to unlock a new character. So you can basically get 4 characters every 3 weeks. Alright. And you'll get through it very quickly that way. That's going to do it for me. It is the top of the hour. I need to be out of here so I can go to a meeting. So, thank you for joining me for episode 89 of Mars Guiding Hand. We did the new morning thing. Woo! I hope to see you all again next time, which will be tomorrow, bright and early, same time, same place right here, I'll have a new chess code. So come back now, you hear? Check out all the other awesome shows that we've got here on the CD Games Twitch channel. I'm gonna recommend Dev Insights on Thursday because I just talked about it. Dev Insights is with Justin and Dave, the founders of Codename Entertainment, and they talk about like the real nitty-gritty of the game. They get in depth about stuff. If you want to ask a super technical question, they're the right people to talk to. So, Dev Insights Thursdays. And you can follow Untitled Chapter's social media. Join our community on Discord, Reddit, and literally everywhere else. Pretty much. You can find me on Twitter at Ryan Blake Hall, just like it says down here in the doobly-doo. Thank you to Codename Entertainment for this opportunity to be part of the game, the community that I love so very, very much. And thank you to the mod team, Martin, today for catching our questions, putting them in the chat, running those polls for me. I appreciate everything that you do, Martin, my other M, Art. Wherever you are in the multiverse, be safe, be kind, do what you can to make the world a little bit better. And until next time, look sharp. See you tomorrow, friends.